Hi guys, welcome back to Motoroids. Well, we have been riding back to back Hero motorcycles and scooters, and today we have a very interesting product that has replaced the Xtreme 200. This is the Xtreme 250R. Now, I have done a detailed walk around of this motorcycle, and you can check that out on the channel. You will get the I button somewhere here, and you can see that video to get an overview of the design of the motorcycle and what this motorcycle gets. In this video, we're going to focus on what this motorcycle is to ride like, how does it handle, how does it feel to ride on the road, and everything that you need to know about riding this motorcycle. Now, firstly, I'm going to start with the seating position. Now, the seat height is 806 mm, and I can swing my leg very easily. Though we are on a very uneven surface, both my feet are flat on the ground, and I'm sitting in the motorcycle because the seat is kind of scooped. The tank is tall, big, so you kind of sit inside the motorcycle. Also, in terms of visibility, I have very good visibility. The position of the instrument console is also very nice because I just have to glance down and I can see the instrument console easily. I don't have to put my head down like this. The handlebar is nice and wide, and it gives me a comfortable riding position. If you look at the foot peg position, it is a little bit aggressive, but it's not too aggressive as well. And one thing that I noticed is that this brake pedal is a little far off. Now, if you see my foot, this is the natural resting position for my foot, and you can see there is a lot of gap between my foot and the brake pedal right here, and this is when I'm not applying the brakes. I need to literally push my foot forward and then hit the brake pedal to apply the brake. So this is one thing that I felt that was a kind of a discomfort while riding. Obviously, we don't use the rear brake as much, but when it has to be used, it does not have the idle position. I'm sure there must be some setting to get the pedal up and comes into the natural position of the foot of the rider. Other than that, I do like this seating position. I've been riding for about a couple of hours and there's no discomfort at all. Even the seat cushioning is really nice. It holds you in place. There's a lot of room to move around, and if you're going into corners, you have a lot of space to move around. The handlebar, like I said, is nice and wide, so you get a good comfortable position. As you can see, my hands are not straight, and in my natural riding position I do have some angle right here. So yes, it is a very comfortable position. Also, these mirrors, they're nice and long. They give a good view of what's coming from the rear. The button controls are nice and easy to operate and very intuitive as well. So that was about the seating position and the rider ergonomics. Now let me fire up the engine and show you what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like on idle. And now let's twist the throttle a little. So that's what it sounds like. Let us know, what do you think? In my opinion, it is a good sounding exhaust, and it does not sound as raspy as the KTM Duke 250, but it has a nice character of its own. Even when you're riding fast, you will be able to enjoy that sweet music that this motorcycle makes. Now the Xtreme 250R gets a 250cc engine. It produces 30 PS of power and 25 Newton meters of torque, and that puts it in competition with the KTM Duke 250. Now, the Duke 250 also gets a 249cc engine and it produces 31 PS of power and the same amount of torque. So both of them are very closely matched, and Hero is trying to position this motorcycle as a direct competitor to the KTM Duke 50. Of course, there are other 250cc motorcycles. We have the Pulsar, we have the Suzuki Gixxer, but the character of this motorcycle is much more aggressive than these motorcycles. Now, Hero is calling this the quickest motorcycle in the segment. And as per Hero's claims, this motorcycle can do 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds and 0 to 100 in 8.6 seconds. And to prove what it actually does, we're going to put a small clip of the testing that we did. Now let's talk about the motor and its character. Now, of course, the acceleration is pretty quick. If you are someone who likes to ride hard, you like a quick motorcycle and you have liked the KTMs, but you are looking for something that is not as aggressive as the KTM, well, this motorcycle could fill that void. Now, it is quick, but it does not feel as aggressive as the KTM. I mean, the character of this motorcycle is a little mellowed down than the KTM, but it is still very, very quick. The meat of the power is between 6,000 and 7,000 RPM. That's where you will get a good amount of torque. The peak torque comes in at 7,250 RPM. The peak power comes in at a higher 9,000 RPM. But this is not a very high revving engine. You will find yourself shifting the gears a little earlier, and it is still a very smooth and comfortable ride. The vibrations are also very minimal. You're going to feel them on the tank and a little bit on the handlebars after 6,000 RPM, but after 7,000 RPM. But till then, you're not going to feel any vibrations of any sorts, and you'll be able to comfortably ride it at triple digit speeds and still keep it under 6,000 RPM. So between 5 and 6,000 RPM is where you will be comfortably able to cruise. Speaking about the suspension, now you get 43 mm suspension at the front, upside down forks, and you get a 6-step adjustable monoshock at the rear. This is a gas shock absorber, and I've been riding on bad surfaces, a little bit of off-road as well. I mean, soft road, not off-road exactly, a little bit of soft roading, and a lot of highway riding. On the highway, this just glides on the tarmac and you will have a lot of fun. And in my opinion, if you take it to the track, you're going to have a lot more fun because the weight distribution is 50-50. And like I said, you one with the motorcycle, flicking the motorcycle into corners, taking those sharp turns, those sharp curves. It's going to be absolutely fun with this motorcycle. I had a lot of fun while riding it on the highways of Udaipur, doing triple digit speeds wherever possible, wherever it was safe, and constantly being over 60 kmph and no fatigue at all, even after riding it for about 2 hours. Overall, the suspension might feel a little stiff to you, but it does a decent job of soaking in the bumps and the bad roads as well. It's not very unsettling unless you go over those nasty speed bumps which are very sharp. That's going to hit you on the backside. Other than that, the suspension is pretty decent in my opinion, and you can obviously adjust it to your liking. You have 6-step preload adjustability. The KTM on the other hand will give you WP Apex suspension, and you're there on the rear monoshock you get 10-step adjustability. Now let's talk about the gear shifts and the clutch. Now the clutch is very light to operate. Sadly, there is no lever adjustability for the front brake or the clutch. You get slip and assist as well, and the gears shifting is very smooth. On the move also, when you're hitting the clutch, you shift the gears. It's very nice. And if you're riding fast, you want to use the slip and assist feature, it works seamlessly and it works really, really well. So even if you're going to ride the motorcycle in traffic, it's not going to take a lot of toll on your foot or your fingers that you use for the clutch. Now the heat management also has been done really well. Throughout my ride, I did not experience any overheating, no heat on my legs. I'm wearing riding denims and I could not feel any heat on my legs. Maybe if you're wearing thinner pants, you might feel the heat, but it did not feel hot at all. Now in the time when a lot of modern motorcycles give you color screen display, the KTM 250 Duke gets one. Hero has chosen to go with an LCD display with very limited colors. The only other color than white that you can see is red, and that is pretty static, if you will notice. And however, the screen, though small, gives you a lot of information. My only complaint here is the use of this font. It's quite thin, quite faint, and it will take some getting used to read this properly. You do get the gear position indicator, which is nice. This is the engine temperature. You have a fuel gauge right here. You have the average fuel economy, the range, and you can toggle around to get all the other notifications. You also get Bluetooth connectivity, so you get turn by turn navigation, and you also have music control over here. Now this also gets an eSIM, so the motorcycle can be tracked. You have the geofencing feature, and you also have this button right here, which is SOS. So God forbid you are in trouble, you can hit this button and help will be on your way. The switch gear quality is decent. There's no tactile feedback. They are a little mushy, rubbery, but overall feels nice. The horn sounds like this, and then you have the hazard lamp right here. You have the start stop switch right here, and of course the SOS button that I showed you already. You also get a type A USB port to charge your devices, and all of these switches, they are lit in the night, so you get LED lighting inside them, which is a nice added feature. Now for some of you, this tank might look a little oddly shaped, but to keep the mass in the front balanced with the rear, I think that's why Hero has gone with this design. But if you see, the tank is nice and raised up. It is an 11.5 liter tank. The KTM Duke 250 gets a 15-liter tank, so a better range is available on that. And speaking about range, you get a claimed fuel efficiency of 35 kmph. In my riding and experience, I've been getting that consistently, and on the highways I was even able to see around 46, 47. So if you're riding on the highways, you're going to get a better fuel efficiency. In the city, you're going to get around 32, 33 very easily. Average should be around 37, 38. We've been bashing the bike a little bit, so it's still giving us 35 kmpl, which is a very respectable number. Now, the colors. The Xtreme 250R is available in 3 colors: Firestorm Red, Stealth Black, and the bike that you see in the video, which is called the Neon Shooting Star. Let us know, what do you think of this color? In my opinion, the Stealth Black looks the best, but this is also a new fresh colorway which we have not seen on a lot of motorcycle. You have silver, black, and neon finish going for you. Now the motorcycle is priced at 1,80,000 ex showroom, and it is about 40,000 cheaper than the Duke 250, but the Duke 250 gets a lot of more tech and features as compared to the Xtreme 250R. But when it comes to sheer riding, I feel that these two motorcycles are very closely matched. So if all the features don't matter to you and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I think this one can cut the bill, and you should definitely give this a test ride and check out the motorcycle for yourself. I had a lot of fun with it. I believe that this will be even more fun on the track. On the highway also, it was quite fun. It's going to be very easy to ride in the city also, because it's quite agile, it's flickable, you can cut through traffic very easily, and it is very comfortable as well for your weekend tours. For the pillion, however, I think this seat is a little small, but you do get these grab handles to hold on to. Other than that, no complaints with the motorcycle. It is a very well put together product, good value for money, and if you are in the market for a 250cc motorcycle, want to buy something that looks different than the crowd, you should definitely check this one out. Let us know what you think of the motorcycle. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Subscribe to Motoroids if you haven't already. Press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever our next video is up. This is Vipul signing off. I will see you in the next one. Until then, rev hard, rev free, and ride safe.